In 2018, Jonathan Oddi was just a South African born U.S. citizen who had a very diverse lifestyle. He worked as a fitness instructor, he was also into real estate, and on the side, he was a stripper for an adult entertainment website. No judgment there from me, no judgment. Inexplicably, on May 18th of 2018, Jonathan Oddi walked into the Trump National Doral Miami Hotel and began to fire shots. Nobody was really injured except for Oddi. Oddi was shot in both of his legs by police as they attempted to apprehend him. And you would think that would be the story. Guy walks into the sitting president's hotel, a hotel that he owns. He wasn't there at that time. He unfurls an American flag and then he engages in this firefight with police. Of course, the Secret Service would want to talk to this guy to get in his head, figure out exactly what possessed him to do this. Who knew that in May of 2018, he would unleash a crazy, or at least at the time, it sounded crazy, story about ties with Sean Diddy Combs, among other celebrities. So today, we're going to talk about whether or not the timeline of these Diddy accusations goes back even further than Cassie Ventura's bombshell lawsuit. I am Tasha Pierce, and this is a midweek meltdown. So look, this dude is kind of like the unreliable narrator. You sit down, well, we're sitting down along with the Secret Service as they interrogate him and listening to him talk. And a lot of what he says, especially in the beginning, is like the ramblings of a madman. So it's really easy to dismiss this dude as crazy. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who are going to believe what he's saying in this clip that I'm about to play for you. I'm not going to judge you for believing what you believe. Once upon a time, I believed in it. So this is what made me feel like, watching this dude is nuts.
I know you may or may not, I know you're going to believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati. Illuminati. Yeah, Illuminati. Okay. They've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated. Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques, which you don't family, kids, etc. in the group, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia. They do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay, right. The Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there. George Senior and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons. Okay, so is Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So if you see, there's a direct correlation of the presence of the United States being bonded between family ties. Okay.
So all the Illuminati talk is kind of like what made me be like, wow, this dude is wacky. He crazy. He's out there. But then as we listened a little longer, he started making even more bizarre claims. And remember, this was said in 2018.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule.
In case you missed that, he said, do you know Sean Diddy Combs? And then he said he's part of what is known as the Boule. Now, the Boule is said to be like a secret society of Black people that is similar to the organization called the Illuminati that is said to basically run Black entertainment in Black Hollywood. Very powerful Black people, and they are in kind of a fraternity or sorority, and they basically set the standards of what Black entertainment, Black media will consist of. They run the Black world, in essence.
The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the Black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant. She was my she, took care of.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean. Okay. And
in 2018, this sounded crazy. Okay, he said he had a settlement with Sean. Now he's going to go on to describe the details of this settlement that he supposedly has with Sean Combs, and tell me if it doesn't sound a bit familiar to you.
Okay, and he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land over contracts. It's these attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay? When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything. Okay?
He's talking about a tape. He's saying he has a tape that he can make available to the Secret Service, and it's got basically the goods on Sean Combs. But he wants to do this under secrecy because he's already gotten death threats from Sean Combs. So if you didn't hear it, you can run it back and listen to it. I'm also going to put the link to the full interrogation down in the description box. But if you want to run it back and listen to it again, under the threat of death, he didn't want to say anything, but he will make available to the Secret Service a tape that he says he has of Sean Combs.
Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them that's what I was. That's all. All right. I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued for the herpes and won.
Did you catch that part? He said, while being a sex slave for Cassie and Diddy, he caught herpes. So he sued Diddy and he won. So that was the settlement that he was talking about at the top of the interrogation. But also, that even sounds like some accusations that we had heard in the past, or allegations in the past, against people in that circle. And I'm not going to drop names. You all know some of the people who have been said to have had herpes and to who have transmitted herpes to other people.
But they did Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible I threw everything out. It's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
So what we have from Jonathan Oddi back in 2018 is basically a corroboration of everything that Cassie said in her lawsuit in 2023. Except for we had Jonathan Oddi's version 5 years earlier. So now let me posit this question to you, because of course I am not an attorney. I don't know more about this case than most people. If everything that I know about the case is what has been in the media. So but sometimes we just have to put on our thinking cap. We could be wrong, but let's put our thinking cap on. And let's say that the Secret Service couldn't do anything with this information that Jonathan Oddi had given them. So they passed it on to the agency who could look into these allegations. Secret Service, all they wanted to know is why this man went into that Trump hotel and fired shots. but the FBI might be interested in the other stuff that he had to say and the other people that, besides Diddy, that he implicated. Let's just say he did have a tape and he did make it available to the Secret Service. And upon watching it, they turned it over to the FBI. And then now we are taking a leap. We're speculating all the way. What if the FBI approached Cassie and talked to her about what was being said in this interrogation? What if they were the apparatus that got the ball rolling with Cassie cooperating with the feds and then filing her own civil lawsuit, jumping out the window? So everything I'm saying is allegedly, or this is all stuff that I'm speculating, but I want you to speculate along with me and tell me if it makes sense. Cassie sits down with the feds and she gives other names. And then the feds follow up on those other names and have interviews with those people. And those people give them even more information, meaning that there's probably a treasure trove of evidence in Diddy's homes that you can go get. Now, by this time, Diddy would know that the FBI is looking into his activities. He would have an opportunity to start getting rid of things, but he also knows that if they're interrogating or interviewing people that he used to be close with, that they're also watching him. And the likelihood is that they've got eyes on him. If he starts trying to throw things away, then they'll get him. They'll get the evidence and then they'll get him for tampering with evidence. So he has to sit back and he has to wait. And wait he does. Until the wall starts closing in because more and more civil lawsuits are being filed. And this could very well be because the FBI is reaching out to different individuals, especially if they've got a tape already, and asking about their involvement. Did they consent to this? What was going on in the video that Jonathan Oddi turned over to the Secret Service? In essence, what I'm saying is this investigation into Diddy has probably been ongoing for at least 6 years. And that now that Diddy was finding himself under this cavalcade of civil lawsuits, in each one of those civil lawsuits is with somebody who could potentially have already spoken to the feds. Now he wants to start to get rid of evidence. And that's when they raided his homes. Upon raiding his homes, they've got hard drives. They've got even more evidence. And now, just 2 weeks after Diddy's arrest, we have an unprecedented 120 new civil lawsuits that have been filed by Tony Busby, an attorney right out of here in Houston. And he says that 120 is what he vetted down. He had 3,285 people reach out saying that they too had been abused in some way by Diddy. He whittled that down to the ones that had the most corroborating evidence, to include police reports, to include hospital records, to include tests, drug tests that had been done on these people after their alleged assaults that found horse tranquilizers in their system, ketamine in their system. So he only took the 120 cases with the most evidence. And he said that a lot of those people are already cooperating with the feds. So I am positing that a lot of those people that are cooperating with the feds already are because the feds found them, are because the feds looked over the evidence on these videos that Diddy was so crazy about that he held on forever, that they reached out to them after identifying them on these videos to ask if these encounters were consensual And once those people say, no, this encounter was not consensual, now they've got more on Diddy. But what I did not count on is for out of the 120 new cases that Tony Busby has taken on, 25 of those people say that they were minors at the time of their alleged assaults. One being a 9-year-old boy at the time of the alleged assault. If there is evidence, like Tony Busby says he has, to corroborate what was being said by that young man, Diddy's goose is cooked. It doesn't matter who he turns over. He might try to bring some people with him. Does not matter who he snitches on. He's going up the river, and he's going up the river for a very long time. That is if these allegations can be proven in a court of law. And before I move on to the other attorney who has been speaking out, Tony Busby is an attorney that has been successful in the past at these types of lawsuits against high-profile individuals. You'll remember that he represented a lot of the accusers in the Deshaun Watson case. Remember Deshaun Watson, former quarterback of the Houston Texans. Now he's a disgraced quarterback, and I think he's with the Cleveland Browns. I could be wrong there. Don't quote me. But there is also a second attorney who has been making statements here lately, and that is Ariel Mitchell Todd. Ariel Mitchell Todd also is no stranger to these high profile cases. She represented people who had come out against Trey Songz in those cases of his assault, sexual assault cases. So Ariel Mitchell Todd, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, not Todd, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Please forgive me, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Ariel Mitchell Kidd is an attorney who has come out saying she is representing a person who wants her to broker the delivery of a tape to a high profile person who she believes is on a video with Diddy performing some type of sexual acts, and that they were unknowing, that they don't know that they were recorded in this intimate situation. Basically, that this might be one of those collateral tapes that we've heard about that Diddy will kind of use to hold over someone's head allegedly, or in any case, that this high profile individual does not know that he was recorded in this intimate moment with Diddy and maybe possibly someone else. I can't remember how many people she said was in this video. They should reach out to her, and that she will try to play the middle person in getting this tape in the hands of the person, the very high profile person who is on the tape. She said that this high profile person is bigger than Diddy. Bigger than Diddy. She also said that she was coming out because she was afraid for her life. So that if anything happened to her, that basically people would have a baseline on where to start, because she has been threatened in the past for representing people who have made these allegations against high profile celebrities. But she was like, this is a person in this tape that's even bigger than Diddy. And that is another thing that Tony Busby alluded to, that some of the people that are implicated in the lawsuits that he is filing on behalf of his 120 clients, he's saying that many of these people will shock and surprise us that they are involved in any way. And he didn't say any names, but he said that as the case progresses, that he will name names. There are pharmaceutical companies, there are banks, and there are high-profile individuals who might want to get out ahead of the media onslaught and just go ahead and strike a deal with some of his clients. So whatever he has to do to get justice for the clients that have truly been victimized by Diddy, I say do it. I say do it, because it doesn't matter one way or the other. If these victims truly have evidence, truly have medical records, truly have police reports, they're going to be turning all that over to federal prosecutors anyway. So that's all I really had. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. If you want me to go a little bit deeper in the Ariel Mitchell kid story about the person in this tape, or if you want me to go into Tony Busby's lawsuits, let me know, and I'll sure do it. Just drop your comments down below, and make sure that you've hit the subscribe button, like, and all of that good stuff if you're enjoying this content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.